And today we're going to talk about Spanish linking words. And linking words or connecting words help you to build a logical argument in your text or your conversation by linking one statement to another. A text without linking words or connecting words is like a series of unrelated statements with no flow. So in order to help you have more flow in your conversation and in your compositions, we're going to talk a little bit about linking words today. And there are many linking or connecting words in Spanish, and I'm just going to highlight a few for you to kind of get you started. All right, so today we're going to talk about 5 different kinds of linking or connecting words in Spanish. And the first type of linking word that we're going to talk about are linking words of adición, addition. And we use words of addition when we want to add ideas or give more information about the same ideas. So here are a few of these types of linking words. So the first one is y. Y, the letter Y in Spanish, means and. An example of this is, Él vive en un pueblo bonito y tranquilo. He lives in a nice and quiet or calm village. So we use y and to connect two ideas. Also, when you're making a list of things in Spanish, just as another note, you do put commas in between each item. However, you do not put a comma before the Y, before E in Spanish. So just to let you know, when you are listing things in Spanish, you do put a comma between each item, but you don't put a comma in front of the connector E. All right, the next linking word that I have for you in the adición, addition category is además. Además means also, moreover, furthermore, and in addition. So it can mean all of these things. So an example could be, además hablamos de marketing. So we also spoke about marketing. So again, además can mean also, it can mean moreover, it can mean furthermore, and it can mean in addition. Okay, the next linking word of adición is también. So también means too, like T-O-O, and as well. So I could say, ella es una trabajadora y también es una estudiante. So she's a worker and a student too, or as well as a student. So también means too, T-O-O, and as well. All right, the last linking word of adición is incluso, and incluso means even. So an example of this is, estaba toda su familia, incluso sus abuelos. All his family was there, even his grandparents. So incluso means even. All right, so the next set of linking words that we're going to look at are linking words of opposition, oposición. And linking words of oposición are used to contrast ideas, so to oppose or contrast ideas. And the first linking word that we're going to look at is pero. So pero means but. So I could say something like, me gusta jugar al tenis, pero me duele el brazo. So I like to play tennis, but my arm hurts. See? So pero is but. The next linking word of oposición is sin embargo. And sin embargo means however. So an example of this would be, or could be, en su familia todos son altos. Sin embargo, ella es baja. So in her family, everyone is tall. However, she is short. So sin embargo means however. All right, the next linking word of oposición is aunque. So aunque means although. And an example of this could be, aunque come muchos tacos, no sube de peso. So even though he or she eats a lot of tacos, they don't gain weight. How fortunate, right? Bien. So aunque means although, see, or even though. Bien. So the last linking word, or in this case phrase, of opposición, opposition, is a pesar de que. So we could say, an example, a pesar de que la empresa está yendo bien, no se van a contratar empleados nuevos. So despite the fact that the company's doing well, they're not going to hire new employees. So a pesar de que is despite or in spite of. All right, the next set of linking words in Spanish that we're going to look at are linking words of causa, or cause. So when we're connecting a cause here. And the first word that I have for you is porque. So porque here looks like one of your interrogative words that you've heard before. So porque, with the accent mark on it separated, is why. And in this case, there's no accent mark here. It's not a question. It's not an interrogative. And it's all one word. So when it looks like this, all one word, no accent mark, it means because. And this is a connector that's usually in the middle of a sentence. And an example of this is, traigo un paraguas porque está lloviendo. So I bring an umbrella or because it's raining. See? So porque is because. All right, our next connector for causas is como. And como means as. See? Now, como is usually used at the beginning of a sentence with a comma between the first and the second statement. So, an example of this, you could say, como estaba lloviendo, traje un paraguas. So, as it was, or because it was raining, I brought an umbrella. See? So, como means as, typically. All right, our next connector of causa is debido a. So debido a means due to. And due to, so I could say an example would be, debido a la lluvia, no podemos jugar al tenis. So due to the rain, we can't play tennis. See? Debido a is due to. All right, our next connector of causa, of cause, is dado que. So dado que, see right there, dado que means since or given that. So I could say, dado que la inflación fue 30%, tuvimos que pedir un aumento de salario. So since inflation was 30%, we had to ask for a raise. See? So dado que is since or given that. Bien, the next connector of causa is gracias a. And gracias a means thanks to. See? So we use this connector when the connotation is a positive. So for example, I could say, gracias a ese club conocí a muchas personas agradables. So thanks to this club, I met many nice people. See? So gracias a means thanks to. All right, and our last connector of cause is por culpa de. Por culpa de is because of. And por culpa de, we use this connector when the connotation is negative. So the opposite of gracias a. So I could say, por culpa de la tormenta, se cortó la luz. Because of the storm, the power went off or the lights went off. See? So when the connotation is negative, we're going to use por culpa de, meaning because of. Literally meaning for the fault of. See? But we would say in English because of. All right, so this brings us to our fourth type of Spanish linking word, and this category is the category of consecuencia. See? And for consecuencias, these connectors are used to express the consequences of the information previously given. See? And the first one that I have here for you is entonces. Entonces means then. So an example of this, I could say, si no les queda en blanco, entonces cógelo en azul. So if there isn't any white left, take the blue one. See? So entonces is then. So if there aren't any white ones left, then take one of the blue ones. See? So entonces, here in blue there we go, number 4 means then. All right, our next connector word is así que. And así, don't forget that accent, así que means so. So I could say, se peleaban a menudo, así que se separaron. They fought often, so they separated. Así que means so. Bien, and the last Spanish linking word of consecuencia, of consequence, that we're going to talk about today is por eso. Por eso, see? Por eso means therefore, see? So por eso means therefore, and I could say, let's see. Marcos se fue de vacaciones, por eso cerró la tienda. Marcos went on vacation, and because of this, or therefore, the store closed. So maybe he was the owner of the store or the only one working, and because he went on vacation, the store closed. So por eso means therefore. See? Okay. All right, so our last category of linking words in Spanish that we're going to talk about today is dar ejemplos. Dar ejemplos means linking words that we use to give examples of things. And the first one that we're going to talk about is por ejemplo. So por ejemplo means for example or for instance. So I could say, él es muy atento. Por ejemplo, le compró flores a ella como sorpresa. So this means he's always being thoughtful. For example, he bought her flowers as a surprise. So por ejemplo is for example or for instance. See? And the last linking word that we're going to talk about today, this one's also in the category of giving examples, and this is a saber. And a saber, see? A saber means namely. And an example of this, we could say, hay dos problemas, a saber, el gasto y el tiempo. So this means there are two problems, namely the expense and the time. So again, these por ejemplo and a saber are linking words that we use when we give examples. All right, clase. So these are just a few of the linking words that you can use in Spanish to help your conversation and your compositions flow in Spanish. If you have any more questions or if you want additional help on linking words, please reach out to me and I will be happy to help you. Gracias, clase. Adios.